Okay, we are back, and just want to, Mike, if you, I didn't want to stop you in mid-sentence.
No, and I was pretty much done, and I think that we all, it's a great presentation, you know, enough that we can really spend some time with, and, you know, as far as I'm concerned, I've said all I can say. We'll just, you know, I'd like a hard copy of this and spend a little time with it and move on.
Anybody else have any comments before we?
No, I just think I want to add to what I said earlier. Ira, thank you for what you've done here. I know it took a lot of work, you and your whole team. Thank you for that. You know, I'm okay with this. As I mentioned a while ago, I just want to be sure that we are doing everything that we can to keep from having to do it, even though we may end up having to do it. Again, as I said before, I just want to justify it to myself, and I think, as Mike mentioned, getting a hard copy of it and sitting down going through it will make me feel better about it. There's a lot of things needed on there. I know from working at the Sheriff's Department, some big needs there, and keeping those vehicles rotated out. I know that's very important, along with everything else that was mentioned. I know they're all important. Kirk, you mentioned the increases there. I know that's important as well. I think we're 16% behind Buncombe was the comparison, which is pretty huge. You know, I've always been a big supporter of our education as well. So a lot of good things in here. I just want to be sure that we're doing everything we can, as I said before, that we pull what we can from the fund balance without getting to a level that is a little scary. You know, you can build that up, but you get to a point where you need to spend some of that as well. So with that being said, I just want to justify it to myself. So thank you again.
Okay. Kevin, you have anything else, or Bill?
I don't. No.
Okay. Okay. All right. Thank you. We appreciate that presentation.
Thank you.
Next, we'll move to a request approve. Oh, wait a second. And everybody got that? I just want to make sure. June 1st is the public hearing. So if anybody wants to come and speak at the budget public hearing, it is on June 1st. And after that, you have to find out the rest because it's been taken off of my.
And that's at 5:30 in the evening, correct?
Right,
Yeah.
5:30.
Thursday night, if I'm not mistaken.
Thursday night, June 1st at 5:30. Next is request approval of the Town of Maggie Valley, Town of Canton, and Lake Junaluska Assembly's annual fireworks displays. We have Andrew Messer, who is the Assistant Fire Marshal. Good evening, Andrew.
Good evening, Mr. Commissioner. How are you
Did
today?
you enjoy that budget presentation?
I sure did, yes,
All right,
sir.
good.
We've received requests from the Town of Maggie Valley and the Lake Junaluska Assembly to do fireworks displays on July the 4th. We've also received one from the Town of Canton to do a fireworks display on July the 5th. We've received all proper documentation from each one of those different entities. We just need your approval to move forward with those.
Commissioners, have any questions of Andrew? All right, I'll entertain a motion to approve the Town of Maggie Valley, Town of Canton, and Lake Junaluska
So moved.
Assembly's annual
Second.
fireworks. Any discussion? All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? And that passes unanimously.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
All right, next we have request approval of contract with Bunnell Lamons Engineering to perform construction materials testing and quantity analysis of the Crabtree Convenience Center in the amount of $8,180 to be paid from project funds.
Good evening,
David
Commissioners.
Francis.
Hope everybody's
evening,
well.
David.
Before you is a contract for construction material testing. As you know, we began the construction out at 209. Previously, we had done some drill and core samples out there due to two factors, one being that there was a creek running through the middle of the site, and also that it was a septic area as well. Once we got into digging there, we found some of the more unsuitable soils closer to the end. So we came back and thought that we better have more compaction testing done just to make sure that we didn't have any problems later on. Thought that this would be a more prudent avenue to take as to proceed on with the regular construction plan. So also included in here is also paving and concrete material testing as well too. So that's why we didn't really present this. We thought that we might be all right when we first did this, but after we got in there and dug out, that we found out that there was more unsuitable soil in there than we thought. So we just want to make sure. So the other soils are coming from a borrow area to go back in there to compact that with. So just to be safe, I thought this would be the more prudent way to go. So,
Okay. It's probably not a bad idea.
No.
I've ran into unsuitable soils myself lately. It's not a good thing.
yeah.
Or what is the status out there? The progress?
On Highway 209?
Well, but
Or
what we're
both?
talking about, let's hear both of them,
I
yeah.
figured this might come up.
Yeah.
On Highway 209, it is proceeding. We've had a little bit of rain here, waiting on this part of it to be completed as well, where they can finish up. They've installed the concrete pipe. Now we went from HDPE pipe to putting concrete pipe in there for that area. So we're waiting for this aspect of it to proceed on with that. But we're all right there, barring any weather, anything like that. Don't have any concerns right there at this time. As for Mooney Cove, they are in the contract period time. I know there has been some concern about, the lack of activity out there for a while, but over the last few weeks, there has been, they have got the electrical piping installed, the concrete pads. I was not able to go out there today. 2 of the 3 concrete pads have been poured. Now the third one, they have the rebar there, so hopefully I'm sure they'll try to get it poured this week before any more rain comes this weekend. And then running the electrical wiring there, paving, and putting the fence up, and we're about ready to go. But that that contract does go till June 8th. There, so
To when?
June 8th.
Okay, and would you say they are over halfway?
Yes, yeah. At this
Three-quarters
now,
of the way.
Yeah, now they are.
Now
Yeah,
they
yeah,
are.
yeah, you asked me a couple of weeks ago. I
Okay,
would say
and
not, yeah.
and they're still projecting that they will be finished by June 8th?
Yeah, one of the things that we did, we asked them to perform a new Gantt chart or progression chart of how things were going, and they still showed finishing up in a timely manner.
Okay, and the 209 site, what's the projected finish date in it?
July 27th.
27th, and would you say they're a quarter of the way through?
That I could not. I don't feel
Okay.
comfortable answering that just yet. No.
Okay.
But I'll bring you a report back at the next meeting, if you would.
I just get a lot of questions about that and a lot
Yeah,
of,
I'm sure. Yeah.
people concerned about,
Yeah.
especially some of
Yeah.
the private businesses around. I think people are using their dumpsters instead of going to the convenience centers, so I
Yeah.
get a lot of people.
Yeah, well, yeah. If that issue is happening, please have them call me.
Yeah.
We had that happen out at the Senior Resource Center as well, and
Right.
we did provide some signage to
Yeah.
help curb that
Okay.
too. So, but that is illegal dumping if somebody is using a private dump. So
Okay.
we do have a litter control officer that can address those issues.
Any other questions about that, Commissioners? All right. If not, I'll entertain a motion to approve the contract with Bunall Lamons Engineering to perform construction materials testing and quality analysis on the Crabtree Convenience Center in the amount of $8,180.
Second.
All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, and that passes unanimously. Next, we have the budget amendment that Julie will provide for us, I suppose, for the $8,180. Julie, can you tell us where it's coming from?
Yes, this is a capital project, so the $8,180 is coming from contingency in the capital project fund. We had $18,000, it'll bring it down to $9,820.
Okay. Any questions of Julie? If not, I'll entertain a motion to approve the budget amendment for the $8,180 for the contract previously requested by Mr. Francis.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, and that passes unanimously. Okay, next we have request approval of Facilities and Maintenance Director Dale Burris to provide in-kind services to mountain projects in the form of project management for the old Health Department facility. Ira?
Thank you. We have here tonight our Facilities Maintenance Director, Dale Burris, and also Patsy Davis, the Director of Mountain Projects, are here. We recently have sold, and they're working on the old health department to convert it to Mountain Project's new home, and it will be beautifully restored. But throughout this project, and this always happens when you have a real expert who knows their craft, everybody wants to figure out how they can get them on their team, and that's the case with Dale Burris. Ms. Dowling made it very clear to me from an early stage of this that she needed part and parcel of this deal, his expertise, to make it go along, because not only does he know the building, but he'll know how to. She's very familiar with this work at the Pathways Center, where he put in a lot of hours, both helping us as a county, but also from his own volunteer work and the work that he had done out at the Health and Human Services complex when it was renovated. And so she made it clear that Mountain Projects wanted part of, as part of the deal, that Mr. Burris, the county, would support him in in-kind service, coming forward to assist as a project manager. We discussed that briefly when we came forward last year and talked about it, and said that when the deal got closer to going through, we would bring back a more formal agreement. I'm presenting to you a more formal agreement that our county attorney had worked a lot to go over, and we had reviewed different matters in here, developing the role that Mr. Burris would play in this project. He would be working as a project manager, but they'll have a general contractor. He'll assist in them picking the general contractor and then working kind of as an owner's representative with the general contractor and the architect to help facilitate some other matters. So he would not be taking on the overall role, and this agreement spells out the different responsibilities for the parties in that. It is a significant commitment of his time and in-kind service. But I also know that his heart is in this kind of stuff. He loves to, and we talked a lot during the Pathways, and we've actually talked a lot about this. He really loves to work. He's here, Dale Burris really loves to work on projects that will help out people in our community and give back to the community for the county. So this would be a good use of the time in that regard as well. And we do work with Mountain Projects in a lot of ways as our community action agency, and have a lot of in-kind work, people serving on their boards and things like that. I think Commissioner Upton's on their board, but this would be a moderately big commitment for the community, but I know that his heart's in this and really wants to do this too. And he is here if he wants to add anything to that.
Okay, I just want to nod from him that you're agreeable with this, and you can't hear me? Come on up then. You're the next contestant on the County Commissioner Show. We have Dale Burris here this evening with us. Everybody wants you on their team, Dale.
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you because a loss of hearing, so I apologize.
I'm sorry.
Nothing to do with you talking loud. Yeah, I've looked over this. I see no issues whatsoever. Enjoy doing this, as Mr. Dove said, so it's no problem for me.
Okay. I just want to make sure that you
I guess
feel
that's the question you have.
Yeah, I just want to make sure you have the time.
Yep.
And that
Well,
you're okay with doing this. We're kind of
As long as I
volunteering
don't
you.
take a 3-month vacation again, yes, I've got plenty of time. But as far as the maintenance program goes, I've got, you get that one back. As far as the maintenance program goes, those guys done a great job while I was out. So, the projects were moving along very well. And I'm sure that we'll have some very good contractors that actually bid on this one as well, send in proposals, so I have no doubt about that. I enjoy working with Mountain Projects. Ms. Davis is probably the easiest person I've ever worked with, so.
All right. Okay, thank you, Dale. Okay, any questions? Any more questions?
Just to, I appreciate the effort that you make, Dale, for the county. I made the comment a couple of weeks ago how well the grounds up here looked. The maintenance guys taking good care of it. Got a little history with you going back to the school board, several big projects we did there along with the county projects. So I'm just really appreciative that you will take the time to help this project out. Thank you very much.
Anything else?
I appreciate Dale doing that too. He really helped out in pathways. It does make sense. He's real familiar with the
Buildings, yeah.
buildings, there.
Yeah.
So I really appreciate Dale doing that.
All right. I'll entertain a motion to approve that Dale Burse, our Facilities and Maintenance Director, provide in-kind services to Mountain Projects, and along with that, approve this project management agreement that has been presented.
So move.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor, indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? And that passes unanimously. Thank you, Dale. All right, next we've got request approval of proclamation declaring Mother's Day through Father's Day, May 14th through June 18th, 2017, as Vulnerable Adult and Elder Abuse Awareness Months.
Yes. This proclamation reads, whereas Haywood County joins the state of North Carolina in recognizing World Elder Abuse Awareness Day every June 15th, and whereas protecting North Carolina's vulnerable and older adults is a community responsibility, and all citizens are charged under state law to report suspected abuse, neglect, or exploitation to the local county Department of Social Services, and whereas North Carolina's vulnerable and older adults of all social, economic, racial, and ethnic backgrounds may be targets of abuse, neglect, exploitation, which can occur in families, long-term settings, and communities. And whereas in state fiscal year 2016, there were 25,980 reports of abuse, neglect, or exploitation of vulnerable and older adults made to North Carolina's 100 county departments of social services. And whereas national and international research shows that abuse, neglect, and exploitation of vulnerable and older adults is grossly underreported, and whereas the state of North Carolina enacted the nation's first elder abuse law and recognizes the need for a comprehensive system of protection for older adults, and whereas Mother's and Father's Day are national holidays intended to honor, respect, and promote the dignity and well-being of our older citizens, now, therefore, the Haywood County Board of Commissioners do hereby proclaim Mother's Day through Father's Day, May 14th through June 18th, as Vulnerable Adult and Elder Abuse Awareness Months in Haywood County, and commend its observance to all citizens.
Okay, commissioners have any questions about that? And, I'd like to say that this is more of a problem than people think it is. When you read about abuse, neglect, or exploitation, that key word there lots of times is really exploitation. And that is older folks who have to have someone help take care of them, who have the financial ability to do that, and those very caretakers can be the ones sometimes that exploit them and their families. The caretakers' families exploit the older people, and honestly, sometimes they don't feel like they have much of a choice. And so we really need to watch out for that and watch out for that kind of thing going on around us. Those elder people have worked very hard for what they have, and to just see it taken away it's really wrenching sometimes.
You wouldn't think it, the number's astounding. 25,980 in 2016.
That's a lot of reports around the state.
That's a lot of reports, and not counting those probably that weren't reported. So,
a lot of those exploitation cases are not reported.
Yeah.
All right, I'll entertain a motion to approve the proclamation that Ira just read regarding Vulnerable Adult and Elder Abuse Awareness Months.
So moved.
second.
All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, and that passes unanimously. And next, we have request approval of proclamation of National Police Week in Haywood County.
This
Got you, Ira, but we got some police folks back there. If anybody wants to come forward and read this proclamation, I'm gonna be more than happy to give you that opportunity. Okay.
We do have our sheriff.
We got our sheriff back there, deputy sheriff, chief detective,
Chief deputy. And
chief, yeah.
we have both, yes.
Okay.
And also our head of bailiff and security. Whereas the Congress and the President of the United States have designated that there be a National Peace Officers Memorial Day, and whereas the members of the Sheriff's Office and Police Department serve an essential role in safeguarding the rights and freedoms of citizens of Haywood County, and whereas it is important to recognize the duties and responsibilities of law enforcement officers and agencies and to express appreciation for the contributions made by law enforcement officers, now therefore be it resolved that the Board of County Commissioners of Haywood County does hereby call upon citizens to observe May 15th through 21st, 2017 as National Police Week.
Okay, thank you for that. And again, you know, sometimes it's hard to imagine what kind of place we would live in without law enforcement. And I think people forget about that every now and then. Go to some place where they're not around and things get out of hand and you appreciate it.
Get a lot of criticism, but when you need, that's the first people you call.
That's right.
Yeah.
Where are they at?
Yeah, why aren't they here?
But thank you. We appreciate police and the sheriff's department and the police departments of our county. I'll entertain a motion to approve the proclamation recognizing National Police Week as May 15th through the 21st.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All right, that passes unanimously. Next, we got a request of appointment of Candace Way as clerk to the board and Ira Dove and Peggy Cope as deputy clerks to the board to act in the capacity as the clerk to the board in her absence.
Yes, presently, the clerk, and I've spoken with Mr. Killian, has been different roles over time. Ever since you've had a county manager in this county manager form of government, it appears that you've had the county manager also serve as clerk to the board. In the past, it's been such positions as the Register of Deeds or other positions in the county. My recommendation is that this change to Ms. Way. Ms. Way is, and the reason is most counties have gone away from the county manager. When we looked at this, the vast majority of them will have a different position, even just a clerk or someone who carries other titles. For example, Ms. Way serves as the administrative assistant to the county manager, and that's also a common setup to have that person be the clerk and the county manager's role be distinct and separate, although there are still a few, half dozen or so, that still have the county manager. Ms. Way has gone through the School of Government training. She's been in the position that she's held and done quite a bit of work, usually preparing minutes, preparing agendas, and everything, and progressively taking over the entire, pretty much most of the duties that the clerk would do. She's already functioning in since she has gone through that training at the School of Government. Ms. Cope, I would recommend her as a deputy. She also has gone through the School of Government training and is certified. Both of them are certified clerks under the state of North Carolina. The only one on your team who actually is not is me. I'm a lawyer, but I've not gone through that particular I think it was like 6 or 8 week course that they offer to do that spread over time. They went for about 1 to 2 weeks at a clip. So I am recommending that she take over those responsibilities officially. Still, as county manager, would review and work with her over agenda and minutes and the other duties, and she would still keep her other position with the county as a assistant to the county manager.
All right, thank you, Ira. Any questions of Ira about that? If not, I'll entertain a motion to appoint Candace Way as clerk to the board and Ira Dove and Peggy Cope as deputy clerks to the board.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, and that passes unanimously. Thank you, Ira.
Thank you.
Let's see. Next, we've got the announcement. We're having a budget work session to follow our 9 o'clock meeting on June 5th. So our next meeting is on, actually, we'll have the public hearing on June 1st, and then the first Monday in June is June 5th, and we will be having a work session immediately after our morning meeting at 9. Next, we'll have what we added to the agenda, and that is the appointment to the Haywood Community College Board of Trustees. We had 1 vacancy and 3 applicants. We interviewed those applicants right before this meeting, and all of them are very qualified, capable people to serve. And if that was George Marshall, Austin Lee, and Charlotte Wilson, and if any 2 of those that don't get on this, we would ask that they reapply for other positions because they were very good applicants and very good interviews. Okay, so George Marshall has received the most votes, and so I will entertain a motion to appoint George Marshall, who is the incumbent and vice chair of the Haywood Community College Board of Trustees, reappoint him to that board.
So move.
Any discussion? All in favor indicate by saying aye. Aye. And those opposed? Okay, and that passes unanimously. That is all the business that I have on the agenda. Any other discussion or any other items that need to be talked about?
Just to comment, Ira and Chip and I attended the legislative session last Wednesday.
Yes.
We did a lot of talking to our representatives, and Chip, you spent the afternoon talking. I don't know how much good we did, but they did listen. So
they knew we were there.
And right, so it's amazing. People are different one-on-one. I know they're different when they're with the crowd, but I knew that when I was a principal. But they did listen to all our concerns, and Ira is excellent. He went to the chairman, he talked to the chairman of the committee that's trying to make DSS.
Yeah, the sponsor of the bill, yes.
Centralized, I guess in a pod system or whatever, and we've gone through that with mental health, and I'm not sure we need to do that again. If you remember when mental health was broken up. Is that the pod system? Is that the correct term?
They're wanting to regionalize the social services.
But I think the budget had just been received from
the Senate was in the final stages of passing the budget, and so a lot of the senators were not as available as they might have been otherwise, but the House members were.
Well, we got to talk to all of our representatives.
We did.
How much good that does, we have to wait and see.
Well, that's good. That's good. We appreciate you all going down there for legislative day. Is that what it was?
It was the legislative day,
Okay.
yes. And it was very good information, too.
All right. Thank you. All right. With that, if no one wants to say anything else, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn our meeting.
So move.
Second.
All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
And we are adjourned. Thank you for being here.
Thank you.